Hi, everyone, and welcome to Gratituesday. My name is Raina, and I am a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. Today, we're going to do something a little more basic, get back to what gratitude is. The history of it, the science of gratitude, how to practice gratitude. There's a lot of the basics. And this article is from verywellmind.com. And it starts out by saying gratitude is a positive emotion that involves being thankful and appreciative and is associated with several mental and physical health benefits. When you experience gratitude, you feel grateful for something or someone in your life and respond with feelings of kindness, warmth, and other forms of generosity. The word gratitude can have a number of different meanings depending on how others use it and in what context. In general terms, gratitude stems from the recognition that something good happened to you, accompanied by an appraisal that someone, whether another individual or an impersonal source, such as nature or a divine entity, was responsible for it. I like that, how it talks about, like a divine entity or an impersonal source, not just someone else, because we can be grateful for more than just the people in our lives, right? We can be grateful for, fresh air and a warm shower and different things in our lives that make us, feel good or important to us. And it's always good to find gratitude in the small things. It really helps to keep things in perspective. A lot of us, when we come into recovery, we start to have this overwhelming sense of gratitude for very basic things that we didn't have when we were using. For example, a lot of us didn't have a roof over our heads. So we can be grateful that we have someplace warm, to sleep at night. We may not have showered for days on end or had, much to eat throughout the day. So we can be grateful for all these things that for most people are just, normal necessities of life. We've taken so much of that away from us in active addiction that we tend to feel more grateful for those things when we have them again. So just a little history of gratitude. It says the subject is something that has interested religious scholars and philosophers since ancient times. Research on gratitude didn't take off until the 50s, as psychologists and sociologists began to examine the impact that gratitude could have on individuals and groups. Since then, interest in the topic has grown considerably as potential health benefits became increasingly apparent. And you'll notice more and more, especially in recovery, that you're going to hear the word gratitude or grateful. It's a very important aspect of recovery to have, to keep things real, keep us humble. And, there's always, the saying that a grateful addict will never use. And I have found that that's very true for a lot of people, like for myself included. I remain grateful for the things that are in my life today, the relationships, the things that I've accumulated, such as a house and a car, and for the basic things like a food and a hot shower. So, keeping all these things in perspective is really important as you continue to go in recovery. So let's talk about some signs of gratitude. So what does gratitude look like? How do you know if you are experiencing a sense of gratitude? Expressing your appreciation, thanks for what you have, can happen in a number of different ways. For example, it might entail some of the following: spending a few moments thinking about the things in your life that you are grateful for. Just take that minute or two to kind of quiet your mind and think about the things in your life that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant or, hopefully it's not something that you're going to have to sit down and think really hard about. You will notice these things as you think about it and as, time goes on, and it gets easier and easier to recognize things that you're grateful for. The next is stopping to observe and acknowledge the beauty of wonder of something you encounter in your daily life. So whether that is like the sky on your drive into work, or if you go for a walk and notice something, it could be, a new piece of artwork that you want to hang in your house that just makes you feel good. It's so many different things that you can, even take just a second and recognize it as being something impactful on your day. Next is being thankful for your health. This can be a hard one. A lot of us come to recovery and we have some health issues that we need to take care of, right? Starting by, removing the drugs. And when we do that, our bodies go through withdrawal and they have this detox process that can be very painful. And we can be grateful for coming out the other side better, for it. So it's like being thankful that we're still here after that process that may feel at the time like it's never going to end. And, you might feel like, oh my God, I'm dying. This is terrible. But when you come through and see that light on the other end of it, you can appreciate, the things that you have. And if you do have health problems, you recognize whether it's issues with mental health, physical health, whatever it may be, being able to address those things, find a doctor or a therapist or counselor or whatever the case may be, and being grateful for, people that can help you and that you can get you healthier and stay healthier. So the next is thanking someone for the positive influence they have in your life. This is always great because, these acts of kindness and gratitude have the same ripple effect as like the negative things of our using. These have the positive effects of our recovery, right? So when we're feeling grateful for something that someone has done for us or the impact that they've had on us, we're spreading that gratitude to another person. And now they in turn can appreciate that and have gratitude for that. I know that, being in this line of work, we have people that are like, thank you so much for getting me in the treatment. You changed my life. And we've impacted them in a positive way. And their gratitude for that is just overwhelming. And in turn, it makes me grateful to have been a part of their life, to be in this line of work to help others. So doing something kind for another person to show that you are grateful. Again, it's the same thing as when we thank someone. Doing something kind for them in turn has that ripple effect, makes them feel good, makes them want to pay it forward. And it really goes a long way to show someone that you're grateful, to show someone that you care about them. Because if you're anything like me in active addiction, it was all these empty promises. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. I'm going to change, and we just say these things over and over again. So, the people that we are saying this to, it's like the little boy that cried wolf. They just stop believing us. And when we really do start to make these changes and stop repeating these, negative behaviors, it's the showing them that makes the difference instead of the telling them. So doing something kind for another person can be something as simple as sticking to it, not relapsing, keeping a promise. It doesn't necessarily have to, be something tangible, like giving a gift, which is always nice, but in a lot of ways, it's like the acts of kindness that, make the biggest impact. So pay attention to the small things in your life that bring you joy and peace. Again, focusing on those little things is really important. So, something small that you might not really think of as bringing you joy and peace could just be, having quiet time. Just being able to sit down, relax, read a book, watch a TV show, just very simple things where for the longest time, like our minds were just so focused on using that it kind of consumed our day. We didn't have time to sit down and appreciate the small things in life. Hobbies and interests and things that we used to be passionate about went out the window. So, being able to, enjoy those things again is really important. And then it's meditation or prayer focused on giving thanks. These two things kind of go hand in hand, right? You always hear that, your prayers are, what you're asking for, and then, asking the questions, and the meditation is receiving the answers. And it can be a great way to decompress, reduce stress, just a lot of different positive impacts of prayer and meditation. So gratitude is often a spontaneous emotion that you feel in the moment. Some people are naturally prone to experiencing it more often than others, but experts suggest that it is also something that you can cultivate and learn to practice more often. Yes, it might not come easy to you. For a lot of us, it doesn't, but it is something that you can learn. And, don't feel like you have to all of a sudden make these grand gestures in your life. Start small. Like with everything in recovery, start small. Do something basic, something that is going to be tangible for you to do. Don't let it overwhelm you or put too much thought into it. And you'll start to notice that over time, things get easier and easier to do. So let's talk about measuring gratitude. So you can evaluate your tendency to experience gratitude by asking yourself the following questions. 1, do you feel like you have a lot to be thankful for in your life? I can say absolutely yes, I do. I have so many things in my life that are just beyond my wildest dreams today that I did not have in my life for a very long time. And, and I'm definitely very thankful for everything, the relationships, the roof over my head, being able to get in my car and drive to work. Like all of these things are very important to me in my life, and I have gratitude for. So next, if you made a list of all the things you're grateful for, would that list be very long? This is a personal one. It could be very short and sweet and basic, and then as time goes on, that list will start to grow. While you might have been grateful, okay, I'm clean, I'm not using, I'm going to be grateful for that today. Time goes on, now, I'm not using, I'm clean, I'm started to, build a network of support. You just keep adding things onto this list. And one day, even if it's just the one thing that you're grateful for, that's okay. The next day, you might have 10 things that you're grateful for. It's a list that goes, up and down and up and down, as long as you keep focus on something for that day. When you look at the world, can you find many things to be grateful for? Absolutely. Sometimes you don't have to look very hard at all. Other times you might have to, put a little more effort into it and really think about it. But there are so many things out there, and it's the same as making the list. One day you might not notice much, and another day you might notice tons of things. Do you feel like your appreciation for life and other people has grown stronger as you get older? Or in our case, as your recovery goes on, do you feel like the appreciation for life and other people has grown stronger? And I can say 100% yes. It has gotten so much bigger and so much stronger as time has gone on. And it's important not to lose sight of that. You don't want it to get to the point where you feel like all this wonderful, and then one day you don't, and you feel like, oh my God, I've lost it. You haven't. You know what I mean? You're not going to have this overwhelming feeling every day of your life. And that's okay. That's normal. But just keep in mind that you don't want to lose it. So do you frequently experience moments where you appreciate someone or something? This is great too, just to look at the little moments. I always tell people, keep a journal. you can keep a gratitude journal, and in that journal, you can put down, the things that you're grateful for that day, or, you might wake up feeling a certain type of way or go to bed feeling a certain type of way by looking at the different things that you're grateful. So it can start your day on a good note, and it can help end your day on a good note. And when you have those moments where you have experienced something like pretty profound, it's great to write what that experience was. So when you have a day when maybe you aren't feeling so grateful or feel that you have run out of things to be thankful for, go back and look at that. Look at that moment where it really touched you, that it made some profound impact, enough so to write it down and take note of it. And do you appreciate a wide variety of people in your life? I can say that I have appreciation from my friends, my family, my coworkers, just like the person that held the door for me at Wawa this morning. It can just be so many different ranges of people, so, if you don't have a lot of close family, find your family in recovery. There's a lot of places that you can go for that sort of thing. You could do church or 12-step meetings or whatever type of recovery focused things that you can find to have people in your life to be appreciative for, and people that when maybe you're not feeling so great, that will be there to help, hold you up. So if you answered yes to most of these questions, which you did, you probably have a strong sense of gratitude. If you answered no to many or all, you could take steps to bring more gratitude into your life. And we're going to look at the different types of gratitude that you can bring into your life. So we can categorize gratitude 3 different ways. One is an affective trait, meaning that it is related to a person's general disposition. Some people naturally experience gratitude more frequently than others. However, research has not demonstrated a clear connection to any of the big 5 personality traits, such as conscientiousness, agreeableness, and extroversion. So some people just naturally have more gratitude. They have a more positive, happier disposition. And that is such a wonderful thing. I can say my sister is one of these people. She just has a pleasant disposition to her all the time. And it's just good feeling just in her presence. You know what I mean? Like people like that. And others have to work for it. I had to work to have more of a pleasant, positive disposition because of the things I had gone through in, active addiction and just toxic relationships and so on and so forth. I had to really pay attention to how things impacted me to make the effort to be more positive. So if you feel like you're just not a happy, bubbly person, that's okay. You don't have to be a happy, bubbly person to be able to learn how to be appreciative and learn how to feel better and happier. And then we look at it as a mood, which means it may fluctuate over time. People might experience periods where they feel more grateful in general, and other times they may experience this less often. And I feel like this probably applies to everyone. Life shows up and you're going to have bad days, or you're going to go through certain things that drag you down and make you feel like, you just don't have anything, positive or anything to be grateful for in your life. Those things pass. And we also learn to handle them better so they don't become so detrimental. And then as an emotion, which is a briefer feeling that people experience in the moment. People might have a particular experience that inspires feelings of gratitude. This usually happens when someone has done something nice for you or thanked you for something or given you something or done something for you. You're going to have that real warm, fuzzy feeling in the moment and actually have that emotion of gratitude come up in you. And it's those times that might be worth writing it down if you're keeping a journal to know, what the situation was. to say someone did something wonderful for you, made you feel great, you can kind of jot that down, and you notice them not doing so well, you can kind of pay back that gesture, that gratitude. You know what I mean? Pour some of that positivity into them. So let's talk about how to practice gratitude. Developing a sense of gratitude isn't complex or challenging. It doesn't require any special tools or training. And the more you practice it, the better you become and put yourself into a grateful state of mind. And here's how we can do that. We can observe the moment. Take a second to focus on your experience and how you are feeling. Take stock of your senses and think about what is helping you cope. Are there people who have done something for you, or are there particular things helping you manage your stress? Feel good about your life or accomplish what you need to do. You may also find the practice of mindfulness, which focuses on becoming more aware of the present moment, a helpful tool. Yes, observe, just be in the moment. And that's very hard for a lot of us to do between technology and, racing thoughts or busy lives. Just being able to live in the moment and, feel what's going on around you, within you. And again, jot those things down, see what you observe, what you're feeling, observe what's going on around you, and make note of it. It's really important to live in the moment. And I notice as I've, come through recovery, and as I, get more time, that I am living more in the moment. It used to be about, hey, take a picture of this, take a picture of that, but I really wasn't paying attention when I was taking pictures of. And not for nothing, I could go back and look at those pictures, but where was the emotion? Where was the, the moment? Where was I? I wasn't there. I was behind the camera. So I've noticed that I take less pictures now. I enjoy the moment for what it is instead of how I can document it. And not to say that don't document it, don't take pictures, but you know what I mean? But focus on what it is you're taking pictures of, or focus on, what it is that, you want to make note of if you keep a journal or anything else. And that's why it comes to the next one, write it down. You might find it helpful to start a gratitude journal where you jot down a few things you're grateful for each day. Being able to look back on these observations can help when you are struggling to feel grateful. Just talking about that, if you keep notes on when you are really feeling grateful or what you are grateful for, those days that you're just not feeling it, it's great to be able to go back and remind yourself, okay, you know what? I have a roof over my head. I have food in my refrigerator. Simple things to remind you of where you are, and then to look back, where you were, and, ideally to see how far you have come. So savor the moment. Again, living in the moment. Give yourself time to really enjoy the moment. Focus on the experience and allow yourself to absorb those good feelings. Again, it was just what I was talking about with observing the moment. I noticed that I really paid note of this 2 Christmases ago. Because I have a granddaughter, she's 3 years old. And for her first Christmas, I barely had any pictures. And I'm like, why do I not have any pictures? What was going on? And then I realized I was in pictures that my kids were taking and my family was taking. I was living in the moment with her instead of documenting her. So it was a really good feeling to be able to be part of that. The next one is create gratitude rituals. Pausing for a moment to appreciate something and giving thanks for it can help you feel a greater sense of gratitude. A meditation, prayer, or mantra are examples of rituals that can inspire a greater sense of gratitude. So, one way to start off your day, jot down a few things in the morning that you're grateful for to get your day started positive. I have a friend who puts up little sticky notes with little positive affirmations to read in the morning, or just, some of it's like in the morning, we pray for like a good day and a positive outlook, and whatever helps you kind of like set that into motion. And these things will start to become second nature to you. And then give thanks. Gratitude is all about recognizing and appreciating those people, things, moments, skills, or gifts that bring joy, peace, and comfort into our lives. Show your appreciation. You might thank a person to show you are thankful for them, or you might spend a moment simply mentally appreciating what you have. Giving thanks, right? It's so important to let people know that you are thankful for them, or just, give thanks like within yourself if it's something like nature that you're grateful for. And just recognizing those things and making it known and putting out that positivity is really great. So expressing your appreciation for others is an important component that can affect your interpersonal relationships, particularly those with your partner. People who are high in gratitude experience sharp declines in marital satisfaction when their partner does not express gratitude in return. Showing your gratitude for those around you can help improve the quality and satisfaction of your relationships. And I've talked about this a few times, right? So like in my personal relationship, my boyfriend will thank me for like the simplest things. And for the longest time, I'm like, what? Why? Like, he thanked me for sticking a frozen pizza in the oven and like making dinner. Or he'll thank me for taking his plate after dinner, or just all these things that like I feel like, okay, to me, I was just being, kind, or I was just like, I need to eat too. But given where he came from in a relationship where it was one-sided and he did everything and the partner did not reciprocate, when like the little things, he makes sure that he, expresses his gratitude because he didn't have those things before. Where I kind of looked at it as like, this is just what we do. This is how you treat someone. So like I started to then do that for him, to make sure that I am thanking him when he makes dinner or when he takes my plate. You know what I mean? Just those little things to keep in mind that might seem like just a daily life, but thanking the person for doing it can make such a good impact, because once you start to feel like you're doing stuff and, the person has like no appreciation for what you're doing, you'll tend to kind of backslide and not want to do those things for them. Like they're taking it for granted. So it's very important in your relationships to let people know, whether it's like romantic or just a friendship, whatever it may be, that, thank them for the little things that they're doing. And then the last part is impact of gratitude. The practice of gratitude can help a significant positive impact on both physical and psychological health. Some of the benefits of gratitude that researchers have uncovered is better sleep, better immunity, higher self-esteem, decreased stress, low blood pressure, less anxiety and depression, stronger relationships, higher levels of optimism. It's a lot of positive benefits and just being grateful for the things around you. Research also suggests that people who tend to be more grateful are also more likely to engage in other health-promoting behaviors, including exercising, following their doctor's recommendations, and sticking to a healthier lifestyle. Gratitude can have a transformative effect on people's lives for several reasons. Because it helps people focus on the present, it plays a role in magnifying positive emotions. Also suggests that it can help improve people's self-worth. When you acknowledge that there are people in the world who care about you and are looking for your interests, it can help you recognize your value. And that's really important, right? Because we want to have value. We want to know that we are worthy, because for a long time we felt that we were not. So, showing gratitude and receiving gratitude is a great way to make someone else feel worthy, makes you feel worthy. And it's just like that good, positive feeling that you put out in the world and it comes back to you. So again, thank you for joining us today on Gratituesday. As always, we welcome you to come in and join our meetings live. And we hope to see you next time. Thanks for joining.